Hi, I'm Nicora. I'm Teresa.
Emmanuel.
I mean,
Me? Could I?
Yeah, because once we scrub in, we won't be able to touch anything and help them.
I've known I wanted to be a surgeon for a long time, so this helps me, hone in on like what I really want to do. So transplant is definitely on the list because I like the idea of being able to give someone a second chance through these organs and helping somebody live on through other people. So that's really why I'm interested a lot more than before.
So this is what happens. And 40-something-year-old African-American male that had hypertension untreated for however long he had a stroke. Yeah, so 2 packs a day for 15 years is a 30-pack year history. That'd be the same as 1 pack a day for 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
So he has this lesion right here in his right chest, in his right lung field. How are we doing?
So like growing up in Haiti, I've seen a lot of people die of like kidney disease. Like my dad has family friends, like in their family, they're genetically predisposed to kidney disease and they've passed like really young because of that. We don't have a lot of transplant surgeon. And if we do have any, people who are really wealthy would be the people who have access to that. So there's no program for kidney donation from deceased donor in Haiti and stuff like that. So it's something that I've always thought about and looked up. I like in practice thinking about the fact that this is possible here, but not so much back home.
So this is called the pericardium. You know what peri means? Around, yeah. So this is the layer that is around the heart.
so donation authorizations were not going up. Registrations for the state of Tennessee in our statewide registry were not going up in the communities of color, again, specifically for the Black community here. So we had the opportunity to meet with Meharry, Dr. Hildreth, and in that conversation, I just brought him some information and said, this is our registration rate among the Black community. This is our authorization rate among the Black community, yet there's so many patients waiting. How do we close that gap?
What
is it called?
The glomerular vein on the right side is inferior vena cava.
One is less necrosis producing, so you wouldn't do this with someone that was needed their skin heal. You would use the cut to go through the skin.
Meharry's mission is to try to make sure there's health equity for the communities that we serve. And it's a long-standing issue of there being a disparity in how transplants are given or who they're given to. And it's a kind of a multifaceted problem. There are not enough African Americans or minorities who are transplant surgeons, likewise for nephrologists. And so I'm just a firm believer that students can't get really excited about something they're not exposed to.
What time to do with cross-plant?
Yeah.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Can I go package it or?
Oh, absolutely. I remember in high school when I first got my license and my mom was there and she was like, don't put that on your license. She definitely said it. And I remember I told her recently about it. She's like, everybody says it. Everyone talks about it. Like, don't put it on there because your life could be at risk and you might not get help because your organs might be viable or needed for someone else. And which now that I've seen the process, it's crazy to even think about because in the ICU, no one's looking through stuff and trying to find your license to look for the heart on there. So that in itself is now crazy to think about. Like that would never happen.
Never mind. I think we're good. Hold this with your left hand. All right. Emmanuel, hold that with your right hand. So I don't know if you guys can see. This is the aorta.
Dr. Sellers.
Say it again.
On the frozen for the lungs, she said she is almost positive it's cancer.
Me too. Yeah.
And we'll flip that and just let me get the photos and then we'll figure out what we need to do.
So the goal in that setting, since we're already there, is to take the organs out in as safe a way as possible, and then investigate the mass in the lung, and it turned out to be cancer, so the organs were not usable. Comes out of so blood goes in the artery there, filters through the kidney, blood comes out here, the filtered products go down into the ureter, this connects down into the bladder.
For example, he asked me what an artery was or what artery this is. I'd never seen that in a human body. I've only seen it in books and the cadavers we have in med school, but they're different. But seeing that in a real body, it's very, it was very stimulating for me as a medical student.
From your joint, pulling it. So I think you're down.
From where? Just
It's right. You have to go. Just pop it.
Oh.
There's a lot of grace and care that goes into dealing with not only the actual donated organs, but the families that are impacted by this. You're meeting these families that will obviously would be the worst moment of their life, and you're offering them a chance for their family member to go and improve someone else's life.
My son's name was Hasten Stafford Myers Jr. And he was an amazing young man. People thought he should have been or how he should act. He was just always himself. Mm-hmm. Always. He cared about people. She came in and I was like, oh, well, here go this person coming in from Tennessee donor. I was like, oh, I don't want to talk about that right now. I don't want to talk about that right now.
Were you already aware of?
No, I was not aware.
Yeah. Because we are very, very spiritual people. And I know from a young age, he's always been into his spirituality.
What type of parent, a mother would I be if I go back on what my son chose to do? And I was like, I've always supported my son in everything. So that shouldn't change now.
That was his purpose. He, ever since then, he was always driven to help people.